Welcome to Too Fond of Books. My name is Janelle, and this is a bookshelf tour number 4. We're still on this massive bookshelf here, but we're moving on up, and so there's more nonfiction to come. But then we're getting into the fiction shelves as well. So join me as we dive into this shelf right here. House of Treason, The Rise and Fall of a Tudor Dynasty by Robert Hutchinson. The Birth of Venus by Sarah Dunnett, Love and Death in Florence. The Irish Princess by Karen Harper. Plenty and Want, A Social History of Diet in England from 1815 to the Present Day by John Burnett. Shakespeare Without Tears by Margaret Webster. Introduction by John Mason Brown. The Tale of Piglet by Benjamin Hoff. The Tao of Pooh by Benjamin Hoff. Toothpaste for Dinner, Hipsters, Hamsters, and Other Pressing Issues by Drew. A Golden Guide of Hallucinogenic Plants. I believe this is one of the books that we inherited from Aaron's grandfather. You will see a number of those coming up. A Visitor's Guide to a History of Britain, Locations from 5,000 Years of History by Martin Davidson. Hunted Down, The Detective Stories of Charles Dickens. More Tea Vicar, An Embarrassment of Domestic Catchphrases by Nigel Rees. The Oxford History of the French Revolution by William Doyle. Animal Tracks and Hunter Signs by Ernest Thompson Seton. This is another one I think we inherited from Aaron's grandfather. Count Sheep by S. Sandhouse and N. Canetti. Maybe I should just show you. Henna Body Art by Mark Smith. Zeusisms, Wise and Witty Prescriptions for Living from the Good Doctor. A Golden Guide to Herbs and Spices. Again, another one from Aaron's grandfather, I believe. Bartleby by Herman Melville. I believe this is a French language New Testament. And this is the Albatross Book of Living Verse, English and American Poetry from the 13th century to the present day, edited by Louis Untermeyer. A History of the Soviet Union, 1917 to 1991, final edition by Jeffrey Hosking. An Uncertain Place by Fred Vargas. Jane's Tanks and Combat Vehicles Recognition Guide by Christopher F. Foss, fully updated 2nd edition. Digging Your Own Grave, Over 350 Foolproof Ways to Totally Screw Up Your Life by B.L. Andrews with illustrations by Arnold Roth. All right, and then these are all from Aaron's grandfather. The Audubon Society Field Guide to North American Wildflowers, Eastern Region. The Audubon Society Field Guide to North American Fossils. The Audubon Society Field Guide to North American Reptiles and Amphibians. The Audubon Society Field Guide to North American Insects and Spiders. And then this one is a dictionary of names, nicknames, and surnames of persons, places, and things by Edward Latham. The Frozen Thames by Helen Humphreys. Jilly Cooper, The Common Years. Larosa's French, English, English-French Dictionary. And then one more from Aaron's grandfather. This is Harper and Rowe's Complete Field Guide to North American Wildlife. Then we have, this is Lady Bet and the Murder of Mr. Thin, a scandalous story of marriage and betrayal in Restoration England by Nigel Pickford. Weird Things Customers Say in Bookstores by Jen Campbell. Lost in Shangri-La, a true story of survival adventures and the most incredible rescue mission of World War II by Mitchell Zuckoff. Sleep by C.L. Taylor. Murder on the Home Front, a true story of morgues, murderers, and mysterious mysteries during the London Blitz by Molly Lefebvre. Such is My Beloved by Morley Callaghan. The Practice of Godliness by Jerry Bridges. The Four Loves, C.S. Lewis. The Great Divorce, C.S. Lewis. Miracles, C.S. Lewis. Knowing God, J.I. Packer. Be Free, Warren W. Wiersbe. Be Right, Warren W. Wiersbe. Loving God, Charles Colson. A Short History of Canada by Desmond Morton. The Second Book of Go, What You Need to Know After You've Learned the Rules. Front Porch Tales by Philip Gully. The Judge Who Stole Christmas by Randy Singer. Let There Be Blood, a Lord Ambrose historical mystery by Jane Jakeman. In the Days of the Angels, Stories and Carols for Christmas by Walter Wangerin Jr. The Quran. The Book of Mormon. Household Hints, over 600 great ideas for saving time, money, and energy. This is a Bad Time, a collection of cartoons by Bruce Eric Kaplan. Anne of Green Gables by L.M. Montgomery. The Entertainment Weekly Seinfeld Companion, Atomic Wedgies to Zipper Jobs, an unofficial guide to TV's funniest show by Bruce Fretz. A Cozy Book of Herbal Teas, Recipes, Remedies, and Folk Wisdom by Mindy Toomey. The Paint Effects Bible, 100 Recipes for Faux Finishes by Carrie Skinner. The English Lakes, beautiful England. England, Land of Legends. The Victorian Village by David Sudden. All right, and then books that are tucked here in the back. We have Sunflower and the Secret Fan by Lisa C. The Singing Fire by Lillian Nuttall. The Virgin Cure, Amy McKay. Dead Knock, Peter Turnbull. The Trial of Patrick Seller, The Tragedy of Highland Evictions by Ian Grimble. Daniel Silva, The Heist. Dolly Bird by Anne Lazurko. Bulldog Drummond Returns by H.C. McNeil. Midnight in Austenland by Shannon Hale. The Coldest March, Scott's Fatal Antarctic Expedition by Susan Solomon. Barron's German Grammar, an in-depth reference, parts of speech, pronunciation, verb charts, sentence structure, punctuation, idioms, and word formation. The Snake by John Gotti. Tracer, In Space, Every Second Counts by Rob Bofford. Night of Camp David, What Would Happen If the President of the USA Went Stark Raving Mad by Fletcher Nebel. Shakespeare's Rebel by C.C. Humphreys. The Innocent, Harlan Coben. Remember Me, Sophie Kinsella. The Undomestic Goddess, Sophie Kinsella. The Duchess of Drury Lane by Frida Lightfoot. A Pocket Full of Rye, A.J. Cronin. A Song of Sixpence, A.J. Cronin. The Hollow Man, Oliver Harris. The Madmen of Benghazi by Gerard de Villiers. The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe by C.S. Lewis. A Prayer for Owen Meany by John Irving. When Do Fish Sleep? And Other Imponderables of Everyday Life by David Feldman. Travels in a Donkey Trap by Daisy Baker. Folklore and Customs of Rural England by Margaret Baker. Kepler by John Banville. The Politician, Stephen and Ethel Longstreet. Reminiscences of a Stock Operator by Edwin Lefevre, the renowned stock market classic that has become a Wall Street must. Centrifuge by J.C. Pollock. Oops. The Church in an Age of Revolution by Alec R. Vidler. The Hit, Brian Garfield. Columbus, Derek Hawes. All Grace by C.H. Spurgeon. Communion with God by John Owen. Lines and Shadows by Joseph Wambaugh. Epidemic by Frank G. Slaughter. 1974, Remember When? A nostalgic look back in time. The Truth About Old Wives' Tales. The Best Christmas Pageant Ever by Barbara Robinson. Essential Spirituality by Gordon T. Smith. Prince Caspian, C.S. Lewis. The Horse and His Boy, C.S. Lewis. The Mortification of Sin, John Owen. How to Walk into Church by Tony Payne. And that is all for this bookshelf. So what do you think? Have you read any of those books? Do any of them look interesting to you? I would love to chat with you about them in the comment section down below, and I will see you for another video soon. Bye.